is enough said.
Welcome back to another episode of the Miami Heat Roundtable. My name is Amir. Got the entire crew back today. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Living the dream.
Damn, Martel.
Hey, make sure that you guys subscribe to our channels. Trae, he's pushing the 5K. Same thing with Ernest. Same thing with me. Same thing with Amir. Make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button. The season is approaching. Media day is approaching. And thank you guys for all the support.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. Y'all think media day Jimmy Butler trolls again?
Oh my God, yes. He's got something big planned up his sleeve, man. He's got to beat the emo look last year.
No, I actually think he might tone that down.
Like, really?
Because one, nothing is funny. All that trolling and all that laughing and all that joking, and that's just something I'm talking about. We all might say, well, that's Jimmy Butler. We like the trolling. Nothing is funny until we win that championship. All that laughing and joking, and he won $50 million and he won another contract. All of that means nothing to me right now. It's about winning basketball games, and it's about not being in the play-in tournament. Like I said, we got to get back to Heat culture. We got to get back to winning games. And what is the main thing? We need to keep the main thing, and that's winning basketball games. Yep. All them dominoes, running around sniffing and smelling coffee is foolishness.
Yeah, he better not be emo Jimmy. He better be
well said.
Jimmy better come in with a briefcase if he wants that bag. If he wants that briefcase filled with money, come in with your shoes and go shoot around while everybody's getting interviewed in the locker room.
Yep.
Go work on your jump shot. Go work on your game, right? Like that's the character we need is locked in Jimmy, which I think he will be. Speaking of what might not be locked in, so was looking at Twitter, saw an article, 5 Reasons was talking about the starting lineup. And they were basically saying they think only 2 of the 5 starters will be locked up. 3 spots will be open and up for competition based on training camp, which is coming up soon, and then preseason before they ultimately decide who the starters will be. So I'm going to make the assumption that you guys are all going to agree with. The 2 guys locked up are Jimmy and Bam, right? So who are those 3 other starters going to be? And I'm actually excited about this topic because we were all assuming it was going to be Terry, Tyler, and they were going to test out that backcourt, which didn't seem to work in a small sample size. But I don't know. Who do you guys think is going to round out the roster? If it's not going to be Tyler, Terry, and let's assume Jovic based on the starting lineup from last season. So who wants to hop in first?
Look, the starting lineup this year is going to be Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Khalil Weir, and Bam Adebayo. Simple.
Do you think Khalil's going to start
yes,
first game of the season?
Started.
No.
Khalil Weir will be starting the first game of the season. You know why?
No chance.
No, there's a chance. There's no time. We got no time to waste. We need to develop him as soon as possible.
Fair
we
enough.
need to be those him and Bam to take over. We don't know what the future is a hold of us with Jimmy next season. Like, we don't. Like, this Miami Heat team can literally go 11-20, and then it's just like, okay, what, is Jimmy going to get the extension now? Or are we going to trade Jimmy? Like, no, this is the year for us to go fully in. Khalil Weir is the best with him being in the starting lineup, even if he's a rookie, even if he has his flaws. I think the best starting lineup is going to have to include him, not Nikola Jovic. Go to the bench, not Tyler Hero. Get those 2 players off my starting lineup. Tyler Hero can come off the bench, be a 6-man. Jovic can do whatever he can do on the bench. I don't care. I need Khalil Weir and I need Bam starting. What I seen with Bam, seen Anthony Davis play together, and I get it. Khalil Weir is not Anthony Davis, but what we've seen in Olympics, that's what Bam needs right next to him. Yep. And to be honest, the reason why you start Khalil Weir so early is because in the beginning of the season, this is where you can fuck up, mess around, and stuff like that a little bit. I'm not saying lose games because that's what the Heat tend to do. But if you're going to mess up, you mess up early. You don't mess up in the playoffs. You don't mess up 67 games in because now it's going to put way more pressure on the rookie, and that's not what you want to do. So start him now. Let him mess up. Let him go throughout the season. And then the next year, he's going to be a starter, and he's going to be ready 100%. So this is why I got Khalil Weir as my center and shooting guard Duncan Robinson. They said he's healthy. Healthy Duncan Robinson is a different beast.
That's a good update. I didn't realize Duncan's back is good, but also Trent is tripping. This is why he coaches little kids and not on the NBA level like Eric Spoelstra. There's no way, in my opinion, Khalil Ware is going to start. There's just no way. I don't think he's going to start him over Jovic or Haywood even. Like he's going to not allow Khalil to start. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Ernest, what do you think?
Unless he shows out in training camp. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to say that about Jaime Jaquez last year because Jimmy Butler's starting at the 3. But the reason why Trent kind of makes a point is because the Heat need a center. And this is really up to Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, I think, guys, the difference we're going to see this year, you're going to see a different Bam Adebayo who's coming back from Team USA, who's going to be a lot better. But I also think he's going to start making decisions. I think this is something that Spo's going to bring up to Bam. What do you prefer? Do you prefer being the center that you've been for me since 2020? Or do you prefer having Khalil Ware? Because, guys, Bam Adebayo was playing one-on-ones with Khalil Ware right after he got drafted. Bam was testing him out, feeling him out. I don't think Bam does that unless he wants to see what this kid is. To see, because Bam has said it multiple times, he's not a center. He wants to be a power forward. He just plays center because there's no other option. He's the best option at the 5 right now. But they drafted Khalil Ware because finally we're seeing that Bam, is going to get that guy next to him. Now, it's really depending on how Ware does in training camp. If Ware balls out, if everybody's coming into the paint and he's blocking everything in sight, he's playing great next to Bam, he's got that DeAndre Jordan type of level next to Bam, and he can hit those 3-point shots, I don't see a reason why Khalil Ware can't start. But the only reason why I don't think it happens is kind of like what Amir says. Spo is kind of set on what he has, set on what he does. We might see the season Bam, Jovic, Jimmy, Tyler, and Terry Rozier. And all of us will rip our effing hairs off game 1. Because a lot of us want a different lineup. But that's probably what we're going to see. But for me, you ask me, I'm kind of with Trent. But I have said this before. I like a little bit of difference. I think Haywood Highsmith starting at the 2 next to Terry Rozier would be great, especially if they are starting Jovic. Because if you're starting Jovic, you need defense out there. That's what Highsmith brings. He can play multiple positions. He can guard multiple positions. He has a 7'1" wingspan. He shoots 40% from the 3-point line. Yeah, he doesn't score like Tyler, but with Jimmy, Bam, and Terry Rozier out there, you don't need a guy that scores like that. Highsmith would be a great complementary, but I think it only works if you're starting Jovic. If you're starting Khalil Ware, now you have to start Duncan Robinson because you need that 3-point threat. So that's what I like about this roster. You can really mix and match and play. But, Ware starting at the 5, I think that's eventually the way to go.
Yep. Martel, what do you think? First off,
yeah, bro.
Chime in on the Ware piece. Do you think he has a possibility to start? But also, who do you think will round out?
He does, because think about it. Trent's right. What has Jovic really done? I mean, he doesn't really move me like that to say, oh, my God, he's definitely going to be head over heels, but way better than Khalil Ware. All I need Khalil Ware to do is be big. If he could block shots, catch lobs, and just be decent on defense, we obviously know that there's going to be some defensive issues there, but as long as he's able to hold his own and block shots and catch lobs and be big, that's all I need from Khalil Ware. In terms of the starting lineup, it's going to be pretty much the same starting lineup that we're expecting. Tyler Hero, he's definitely not coming off the bench. I really do think we should look at that only because what has Tyler Hero really done since the bubble? What has he really done to say that, well, I'm a proven starter? I mean, yeah, he could start, but what is he really proven?
He's averaged 20 points a game for the last 3 years. I think that's
that 20 is
solid.
But the 20 is fraudulent because it doesn't translate to winning. It doesn't translate to anything really on the court. Because if you're telling me the Miami Heat are struggling to score 90 points, where's his 20 points per game impact? Especially when you're not playing defense. That's true.
I partly agree with you, but it's the rest of the roster because he's our top scorer. Him and Jimmy were our top scorer.
This man's getting stripped at half court. He's getting his shot blocked at the rim. Those 20 points look fraudulent to me. And just because you average 20 points, go look at his box scores over the whole 82-game season. He's gone for 40 of them, too.
Yeah, listen.
I mean, that's just me, man. Like I said, what has Tyler Hero really proven? With Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, right? What have they – they're kind of on the same level in terms of their production and what they offer. Am I wrong? What has one done
think
more than the other?
Not
I
production.
think
but
because of the injuries. I think because of the injuries, the stigma's there, which I completely agree with. What I'm trying to say though is the guy, he won Sixth Man of the Year 2022, 2 years ago. He's been injury prone since then. Contract's a little bit iffy. We don't know where it's going with, but I will say this. Given the opportunity, being healthy, I think he can provide. I think he'd be perfect off the bench. I agree with you. As the sixth man playing against the second unit, we've seen it before. Tyler can do his thing. That fraudulent comment was hilarious. I can't stop thinking about
That 20 point per game is fraudulent to me.
But listen, let me.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
I lost my
Look,
train of thought because that's
when
so
you're
funny.
going to the fourth quarter and we're down by 5 or up by 5, how come he's not? He's supposed to be closing that out. When Jimmy and Bam are stagnant,
Yep.
it's Tyler Hero's job
Yep.
to score the basketball.
Okay, and
Period.
I'm a neutral Tyler. I can talk shit. I'll praise him. I don't love him. I don't hate him. He was our most clutch player in the fourth quarter. What do you mean? He does close out games. Like he does play in closeout. He has the most fourth quarter points on our team in the last
He
few
does.
years.
He does.
He's been our most clutch
And
He's
player.
clutch.
So, well, it hasn't translated to winning then. So
That's
that means it's fraudulent.
That's
It
fair.
hasn't translated to winning.
But hold
I
up,
think-
hold up.
Go ahead, Trent. Go ahead.
You know that's not a good stat. Like that's not a good stat to have. Being the fourth, like we shouldn't even be in that position, anyways. Like who cares of who's
Losing.
why?
Well,
we in a clutch position?
Dwayne
Why-
Wade was that guy.
Why are we always in clutch games? You know, they criticize Steph Curry or De'Aaron Fox, one of them. They won the most clutch player award, I think, last year or something like that. They got criticized. They're like, that's cool, but why are you in the most? Like, why are you always in those games? If you're a good team and you're a good player overall, you should not be in that position. So that's cool with Tyler Hero. Get the nigga off my team. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of Tyler Hero. I think this year, you could say Ernest, he's averaging 20 points a game. Okay. Yeah. You seen Tyrese Maxey? He went from, and I'm on top of my head, I think he went from 12 to 15 to 25. Tyler Hero went from 20 to 20 to 20.
Yep.
Like he's not moving anywhere. You see Tyrese
not getting to the rim.
Dude,
not getting to the rim.
I agree. Yeah.
Tyler Hero, I feel like we're at the same level at one point. Tyrese Maxey is better than Tyler Hero. Tyrese Maxey is better than Tyler Hero. Tyrese Maxey is going to be a superstar in this league eventually. I'm telling you. Watch.
I think you got to treat Tyler Hero like a stock, like a stock option. So in 2020, his value was the highest. In 2022, he had pretty nice value. His value's dipped. We got to wait for it to rise again. Because right now there's really no value as far as a trade. We're stuck with it. Do we love it? Some people do. I feel like with Tyler, it's 50-50 with Heat fans. Half of Heat fans love him. Half of Heat fans hate him. We just got to wait and see when the rise comes again. Whenever the rise comes, now we can talk about possibly trading. But for right now, we're stuck. Now, I will agree with you guys one thing. Tyler Hero has been stagnant the last 3 years. His numbers are exactly the same. This is a guy who a few years ago put himself in the same level as Luka Doncic and John Morant. Laughable now. Aged well. So this is the year. But we're stuck with it. There's really nothing to do unless you want to trade him for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
No, he just has to be consistent. He doesn't have to be an all-star or Tyrese Maxey.
Be a number 3. Be a number 3.
We're talking so much shit on him. It starts with the top. Like, I know, but he's never available. He's never consistent.
I think he would average 28 points a game, just not here. He would average that in Detroit. In Detroit, he would be, a 28 point per game guy. He just can't. He just doesn't do it here.
You know what we're not talking about enough, though? I don't care what anybody says. Some people can fix their relationships. Some people can say, okay, we can be cordial. Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero may be cordial, but it still plays a factor on the court.
Oh, I agree. Yup.
You see what I'm saying?
Yup.
So you could be like, okay, everything's fine, but at the end of the day, they're grown men. They keep that in, especially with just the little things of Jimmy, like that comes out. Like I'm sure Jimmy's keeping that back in his head, or Tyler's keeping that back in his head. Like those are they have two different personalities. So whatever happened between them, they're not. Remember that record I used to throw out to you guys. They're better with him not playing in the starting lineup, and that's including Jimmy and Bam. So it's like I think that plays a factor. Tyler always being hurt, and Tyler just not improving. Like, what the hell does he do in the offseason? Like, seriously, what is he doing in the offseason? Like, the offseason, you work on a move, or you work on a shot, or you work on something. I don't know what he works on in the offseason because his moves are the same every single year. He hardly goes to the free throw line. His handles are very mediocre. I mean, for shooting guards, you need to get to the free throw line and attack. That's how you get free points. People hate on James Harden. James Harden goes to the free throw line. That's how he gets free points. He draws fouls.
Yep.
Tyler do none of that. Tyler Hero's taking step back threes. He's taking floaters. Then he's falling on his ankle. Amir, you play basketball. When you do a floater, your ankle is coming up. So you could fall down on the players, and there's a bunch of people in the paint. That's how you twist your ankle. If he has a different skill set, he can be good. He's the same player. Just move on from this dude. It's simple as that.
Speaking of moving on, Bleacher Report came out with an article talking about our favorite subject, typically trade rumors. And so we haven't had many discussions around that because there's no one really linked to the Miami Heat. Tyler's trade value, as we mentioned, has gone down. Even Duncan's trade value, just there hasn't been a lot of rumors or speculation, but they brought up and resurfaced a few guys that we've been linked to potentially throughout the offseason. Those three players were Kuzma, Trae Young, and Cam Johnson. So those are the three best potential targets they are saying that the Heat could, in theory, go after, whether it's the offseason, which is, for the next 6 more weeks or whatever, or it could be something we could do midseason. So I'm going to go around the horn. Of the three, who do you think makes the most sense?
Trae Young. He's averaging 25 and 10. I know people are going to say, but his defense sucks. We are not in the position to talk about his defense right now. He's averaging 25 and 10. Can you imagine the pick and roll with him and Bam Adebayo, him and Khalil Ware? You can't double Jimmy. You can't double Bam. Why? Because now Trae Young he's going to be wide open at the logo. Plus, what Ernest said, all you have to do, which we have defenders, you put guys like Jaime, Jimmy, and Haywood Highsmith around him, so that at least will the defense be perfect? No, but Trae Young scoring and his playmaking, that's enough for me.
Let me say
so. Oh, go ahead, Trank. My bad.
You can go, others.
So I was just gonna say, to get a Trae Young, you got to trade Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, and attach a draft pick. Would you do that, Martel? Trent says yeah. Martel says yeah. I say yeah. Amir?
Got to change it up. Can't be a playing team again.
Well,
why not? One last shot with Jimmy. Why not?
So,
but you're going to ask for Jaime, though.
So, look.
And we're going to say no.
What I'm saying is, though, right? Trae, and y'all probably not going to like this. Trae Young's not good. Like, I don't like Trae Young. I did a tier list with this dude. This dude's around the BC list. I don't think Trae Young's all that. I really don't think he's all that. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
IQ is good. He's a good playmaker. He can shoot like Steph Curry / Dame. But what did the Atlanta Hawks did? They brought in DeJounte Murray because this dude, what are we known for? Defense. Trae Young will get picked the F apart in the playoffs extremely bad. Like, say if Tyler Hero does stay, because you're saying they're going to ask for Tyler. I don't even think they want Tyler. I'm going to be honest with you. They might want Jovic and some salary filler. I don't think they want Tyler. So say if Trae Young and Tyler are on the same team, we're complaining about Terry and Tyler. Trae Young and Tyler is 10 times worse. That would be an absolute disgrace. Trae Young's a terrible defender. Tyler Hero is a terrible defender. They both need the ball in their hands.
But Tyler wouldn't be here for that. He would have to go.
But Trae's talking about a scenario where Tyler stays. And here's my answer to that, Trent. You're right. There's no way you can start Tyler Hero and Trae Young. Agreed. That's why you bring Haywood Highsmith. You start Haywood Highsmith next to Trae Young. It does not matter who you play. Let's say you're playing the Grizzlies and you got John Morant. Is Trae Young guarding John Morant? No. Haywood Highsmith is guarding John Morant. That's why I like Highsmith.
I agree. But we're still hiding him. And we're still hiding him, though. And great teams can still expose that, right? Because
that's why you have Bam. Bam can guard 1 through 5.
Listen, one second, Trent. Listen. To Ernest's point, you put Haywood at the shooting guard, then you have Jimmy, you have Khalil, and you have Bam. All great defenders all around Trae Young. Trae Young is going to score 25, right? Whoever he's guarding, as long as they don't score 45, that's totally fine. They could score 20, 23. His offense is going to wash out his negative defense because he's going to have that. To Ernest's point, you have to put Haywood next to him. You have to have Kalel in there for rim protection. Bam is the roamer. Jimmy on a contract year. He's got to play. You saw Jimmy playing two-way against Philly in that play-in before he hurt his knee. You saw him have 3 steals, right? When he needs to try, Jimmy can still play defense when he has to. So,
but look though, Trae Young's coming off a bad season. Like he's not coming. There's a reason why he hasn't been traded. He's coming off a bad season with Atlanta. Like he didn't. His numbers are gonna look good because Trae Young's he's just gonna put up good. But like if you look deep into, he had a bad season. Like this is why like DeJounte Murray got traded. DeJounte Murray has better value than Trae Young, 100%. That's why he got traded so quick. Then
but you also got to put him in a
hold up,
good system,
Martel.
too.
Hold up, Martel. Trae Young. We talking about massive contracts. Trae Young's on a huge contract. So
yeah, what is it?
I don't know on top of my head.
$43 million this year.
Like he's on a huge, massive contract. So I'm just trying to play both sides. So I want Trae Young sure, but on the other side, it's just like Trae Young's on a massive contract. He's terrible defensively. You could say, well, we can add him with Haywood and Bam and Kalel Ware, but literally, Spo is never changing this lineup. Spo is going to be stubborn. So, like, I don't think Haywood's going to be inserted to the starting lineup. Y'all been saying Kalel Ware is not going to start. So, like, we're just throwing these lineups that we want, but is Spo going to do that? I doubt it. Like, I don't know, unless
it's
Spo,
depending what you have. But
So then you trade. So then you trade Duncan in the first, and then you go get Kyle Kuzma. He's a 6'10" wing defender that can shoot. Listen, I wouldn't say that. Listen, he's on the Washington Wizards. Okay,
Bro,
everyone's terrible on that team. But I'm talking about in a Miami Heat Eric Spoelstra system.
Next to Bam.
First of all, he's doing this with Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. Can we please give Eric Spoelstra some talent?
For real.
Can we please?
For real.
Is not
For real.
Stop it. Kuzma's not good. He's not good.
Yeah. But that doesn't solve the problem of Bam wanting to play power forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Bam has to be the center.
Yeah, but it still helps him, though. It still helps him with the rebounding. And Kyle Kuzma is a good defender because his power forward is not 6'5".
He doesn't move the needle, though, for us.
Facts.
I'd rather have Trae Young and
It's
take
not
the
about
chance.
moving the needle. It's high-level role players.
Dude,
But we're not going to win with him. We're going to be a second seed if you get Kuzma. Like, what's
you're trading for Kyle Kuzma? You're giving up a first-round pick plus good players. What are you talking about?
No way. Exactly. That's not going to help us enough. I'd rather go Trae Young in that sense. Wouldn't you rather go Trae, Trent, over Kuz?
Of course. But let's be realistic.
I'd rather go Isaiah Stevens.
Ha! I mean,
what is this man talking about?
What do you mean? I'd rather go Isaiah Stevens with the new CBA rule. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, but we're talking about winning a championship, and so you don't want Kyle Kuzma, but you talking about Isaiah Stevens?
We got to be realistic.
That's if you're rebuilding. Isaiah Stevens is the starting point guard if you're rebuilding. I'm sorry. No.
For sake, I get it, but bro, like none of these guys are. Bro, Trae Young should have been on Miami. Like I don't know why this is getting brought up now. He should have been on Miami. Why?
Because Atlanta, bro, I know you said Atlanta moved DeJounte Murray because he has more value. It's actually not true. They wanted to keep Trae Young. They moved DeJounte Murray out because it didn't work with Trae Young.
No,
that's why they moved him.
That's not the case. That's not the case. You could say both sides, right? DeJounte Murray has way more value. Way more value.
No.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think so, man.
No.
So.
As a number one guy,
or what?
Wait, clarify. Classify.
No, yeah, because what has DeJounte
Let him
Murray
speak.
done in the
Let him
NBA?
speak.
Okay, perfect. This is why. Nowadays in this league, what is relied on? Two-way players that can shoot the three, run the offense, and look at the Boston Celtics that they won a championship. Drew Holiday.
Luka's not a two-way player. Kyrie's not a two-way player. Like,
and that's why they lost. Thank you very much. The Dallas Mavericks defensively was awful because they didn't have their two-way guards. They didn't have none of that. They couldn't hit a shot. Nowadays in this league, 6'8" guards is what you want on your roster. Outside of Luka, who's not great defensively, his offense is so top tier that like it doesn't even matter defensively because he does so much team. He's not Luka, all those type of players. Anthony Edwards, those are gonna win you championship. Trae ain't winning you no championship. The nigga's a midget. He looks, bro. You ever look like a lollipop and it fell on the floor and there's like hair all over it on the lollipop? That's what Trae Young looks like. Anyway, Trae Young,
he putting up 25 and 10. I don't know that many point guards.
Martel, 26 and 11 if you round up.
That's fine. And look at DeJounte. Hold up. So this is perfect. We could do A or B. You could look at DeJounte Murray's numbers and Trae Young numbers. Murray's numbers are literally identical, but a better defensive player. Why would I want Trae?
I agree.
Identical? He doesn't
think
average
DeJounte-
11 assists.
if
He's not a better
DeJounte
playmaker.
Murray-
I
than
said
Trae.
they're damn near. Bro,
DeJounte
They
Murray
don't
never
Murray-
led his team.
more rebounds.
DeJounte
and he's
Murray
still a solid
never led his
playmaker,
team.
and he still averages 20-plus points a game. Let's be for
Okay.
real. And he's
Trae
a better
Young took
defender.
his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
You said what?
Trae Young took his team to the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals.
And that was the biggest fluke ever. They never
It's not a fluke, bro. We ain't gonna do that fluke thing because guess
No.
what? You have to make
Because that's
baskets.
what y'all love doing. Y'all said the Celtics were a fluke when damn right they were the best team in the league. But y'all said
Whoa,
a fluke.
whoa.
fluke, right?
No.
Let's not do that. Let's
That's
not do that.
completely different. Hold on, look. You're telling me
Nah.
they played the injured Miami Heat. Okay, they got to duck Giannis completely. They got to duck
Dude.
Joel Embiid. They never had to play those guys.
Goodbye.
You're
Yeah,
telling me
yes.
they got to duck Jimmy Butler. They didn't have to play Jimmy at all. You're telling me that's like cakewalk?
Dude, they were winning the
They
championship.
played.
And
It's not about that though. You never know what can happen. You never know who's gonna get injured. You never know who's gonna play bad. All I'm saying is that I'm not saying they wouldn't have
Martel.
won. They had a cakewalk to the finals.
Martel,
They played
Martel.
the Indiana Pacers in
Sound
the Eastern
like-
Conference Finals.
Sound like a true Miami Heat fan. I love it.
Wow. So
You
you're
sound
telling
like-
me
you know why?
it's gonna be
Hold up.
easy?
No,
to beat
hold up.
Giannis and
Martel,
Dame?
you sound like a Heat fan and not an NBA realistic fan. Even me and American agree the Celtics were winning the championship this season.
I didn't say they. Hold on. I didn't say they were not.
No,
I'm just
you're
saying, they had a
bro, hold up.
cakewalk
This is what
to
you're
the
saying. You keep
finals.
saying,
They
well, if
did.
they had these players, you never
They
know what happened.
did.
I agree with
Celtics
both of
were
you.
the best
Martel's
team.
not
They
wrong,
did.
but Trent's also not wrong.
Dude, the
I agree with
Celtics
Timmy, Terry,
were the
Duncan.
best team all year around. On
I never said they weren't. I never said they weren't.
can think of.
I never said they weren't. I'm just saying they had a cakewalk to the NBA Finals. Did you see Luka game 1 wrapped up like a mummy?
Nigga,
You didn't see
Luka,
him wrapped up?
bro. Luka 100% healthy. Tyrese
It was a
Halliburton,
cakewalk. I agree. It was still a cakewalk.
Jimmy 100% healthy. Bro,
He's not.
we can
He's
talk
not
about
wrong.
the Heat.
Martel's
Bro,
not
hold up.
wrong.
It's
Listen,
a cakewalk, bro.
we can talk about the Heat. The Heat.
They criticized the
Hold
bubble.
up, Martel.
How could I not criticize this little Mickey Mouse ring
No,
that they
Martel,
got?
let me tell you something. As a
They didn't play.
I don't care
They
what-
didn't play Giannis. They didn't play Joel Embiid. They
Mitchell
didn't play
missed
Jimmy
2
Butler.
games.
They
Jim-
didn't play. Donovan Mitchell missed 2 games. Like what is this? What are you
Bro,
talking
Halliburton.
about?
Halliburton.
Hey,
missed 2
man.
games.
It's okay though.
It's-
It's okay. It's okay though.
It's like
Look,
what Brian said in Family Guy, or Stewie said. Doesn't matter how you get to the end of the rainbow, be right. All that matters is that you get the pot of the gold.
Ernest, let me tell you something. Ernest, let me tell you something. You know why they got the cakewalk that everybody says? Because they took the regular season serious and got the #1 seed and got the easiest matchups possible. Do you
It's
want to
not a-
talk about that?
No.
Yes.
No.
Because guess what?
Everybody
Hold
was
up.
hurt.
Martel,
Everybody got
Martel,
hurt.
Martel, bro.
What does
I don't know if
what does
everybody
matchup
agree on
have
this
to do with
panel.
that?
We was never beating them. What are we talking about? We was never beating them. We was never beating them.
Trent, you're not listening. I never
I wouldn't
said
say
we were
never,
beating.
but yeah. It'd be
Yeah,
a
dude,
All I'm
I'm talking
saying
about the
is-
first round matchup. Jimmy,
Okay.
Terry, Duncan, all healthy. Who's not being the Celtics in the first round? We wasn't.
I
all
won't
I
say
can
that.
see that
I
though.
won't say
No.
that.
Listen, I wouldn't
Stop
say
it.
that.
Stop
Only
it.
because
We'd
listen,
be underdogs, but
we-
I wouldn't say it's
we-
impossible.
I mean, if I
You're
was
telling me-
betting money, like if I was betting my house, probably, but
And not a
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
never, I
Yeah.
would never say that. I think the Heat, like if Jimmy and Terry were healthy, I don't care. Like
You would
50-50.
say, hold up.
50-50.
How do you-
yeah, we have a shot.
hold up.
50-50.
My thing is though.
No, not 50-50. 60-40, boss.
Fuck
Dude,
that.
hold up.
50-50.
Yeah, 64.
50-50. Jimmy Butler is the Boston Celtics daddy, guys.
My thing
That's
is,
just a fact.
well, guess what? Because there's nothing to laugh about. They want to. Tatum has a ring before Jimmy. So I mean,
No,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
agree
true.
with that.
So
Yeah,
hold
But
up, hold
now,
up.
but now we
real
go
quick,
back
though.
to what Martel said. Like the ring that Jason Tatum got. Like,
Yeah, because his boy Jalen,
They didn't play
won it for him.
anybody.
you know what I mean? Like,
y'all-
congratulations,
I
but
hate
you know
that.
what I mean?
Super team undrafted, right, Martel? Super team undrafted.
No, hold on, look. Trent is saying, listen. Trent is saying,
Yes.
Trent, all we're saying is they had an easy run. They didn't play any
Good for
of
them.
the best Eastern
for them.
Conference players.
Facts.
They didn't play Giannis. They didn't play Embiid. They didn't play Jimmy. And they barely played Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
And they didn't. And Halliburton missed games
Everything-
too.
Hold up.
And
Hold up.
Halliburton missed games too.
Hold up. Perfect. I love that you bring this up. I love this. Donovan Mitchell being there for those 2 games did not mean shit. The Cavaliers are
No.
fucking awful.
No,
No, let
it's
me
not about
talk.
that.
I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Let me talk now. Let me talk now. No cutting off, because now it's my turn. Because I'm about to cook every single point that you brought up, Martel. You said Donovan Mitchell not being there. Bro, do we take the Cavaliers? Bro, the Cavaliers are a joke. You have a center who is scared to play in the brightest moment. Evan Mobley, who can't spread out the floor. That whole team was a joke. Darius Garland can't even play basketball no more. I'm not worried about the Cavaliers, right? You talk about the Miami Heat season, and you expect, just because it's the playoffs, you expect this team to take it. Bro, they just wasn't good last year. It is what it is. You could say, oh, we could compete with the Celtics, sure, but that doesn't mean we're gonna win the series. We was losing in 6, maybe 7. So those 2 matchups right there is dead. You could talk about Giannis. Did you forget how bad Dame Lillard was last year? Did you forget how bad Lillard was and Chris Middleton was? Do you forget that? Do you forget who was their coach? Doc Rivers. Do you forget all that? The Milwaukee Bucks was never good that year. They wasn't. Then you want to talk about the Pacers or the Knicks or the Sixers. The Sixers haven't got out the second round since when? When did we take the 76ers serious? Please tell me, when do they take anybody serious? It's the 76ers. They got the best big man in the league who can't stay healthy. When does he stay healthy? You got Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris over me? Bro, when do you take the Sixers serious? You never, even this year you don't. So all the teams you brought up was never beating Boston. Never. You can even say Miami.
I agree with you. All I'm saying is they were not. Listen, you're telling me every single round they went to, 1 or 2 of their best players never played, or maybe played 1 game.
So,
That's
okay,
all I'm saying. I'm not getting into we know that they're fraudulent. I know. Listen, I know Paul George is fraudulent. I know Joel Embiid's fraudulent. I know that. All I'm saying is, you're telling me, what are the odds every single round they go to, nobody was available to play?
Now let me ask you, what if the Miami?
That's what it's about.
Hold on. Now, what if that was vice versa and the Miami Heat did that? Are you going to be like, no, it's because Matt, it's whoever we played, it doesn't matter?
No. Because
that's my question. That's what I want to ask.
We have a pass. We went through too much pain. We lost Chris Bosh to a blood clot. Okay, then we lost LeBron James high and dry. Okay, Jimmy Butler, he missed multiple playoff games. Okay, and the list goes on. We had out of shape and overweight Kyle Lowry, $90 million. He missed multiple playoff games. Tyler Hero broke his hand. Bam Adebayo injured shoulder. Goran Dragic tore his foot. We went through too much pain. We went through too much pain. You're telling me that you can't get
you realize the Celtics
killing me right now.
Right? You realize the Celtics went through a lot too. And I'm not comparing them to
compared to the Miami Heat.
I'm not comparing. I'm saying
I don't give a rat's. Listen,
Boston went through a lot too, though. You realize that, right?
We went through more. We went through multiple games. Okay, without Jimmy Butler, without Kyle Lowry, without Tyler Hero.
Are we talking about injuries?
Players. No, bro, because Trent, it's about, once again, they went to every single round, and they're two of their best players were not playing.
All right.
When have you ever seen that?
Let me ask my last thing. Who wants to bet on the panel that the Celtics will go farther than the Miami Heat this year? Anybody want to bet?
I want to. Now, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh,
now,
everybody's quiet. Exactly.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. You don't even trust the Miami Heat.
I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet.
I will
bet. Listen, we can bet. I would love to bet all y'all. The Celtics will go farther than the Miami Heat this season.
100%. Barring injury, 2025 season, if both teams are fully healthy. I'm not, even if the Boston Celtics get injured, like if Tatum, like God forbid, gets injured, I won't count that. But if both teams are fully healthy, 7-game series, give me Miami.
Cool.
Jimmy Butler, I don't care. It's proof. Jimmy Butler is the Boston Celtics daddy.
Ernest, is Jimmy Butler the same from 2 years ago?
Yep.
I don't think so.
I think so.
He's definitely not.
I think so. I think so. I think so.
So
I do.
I don't know about that, but guess what? If he can get it done with Max Strus and Gabe Vincent,
guys, don't let numbers fool you. Jimmy's way smarter than people think.
No. I'm gonna let you talk, Martin. I'm gonna let you talk. I seen Jimmy Butler need to win important games near the end of the stretch, near end of the games, and what has he done? He struggled against Indiana, and I'll give him a pass against the Sixers. He was playing through injury, right? But we needed that Indiana game, right? Did we not need that Indiana game?
Yes.
And we needed that Sixers game. Jimmy was nowhere to be found. And you can't say, oh, it's because it's not those were playoff games.
Yep. You're right. And so, you know what? I think he's gonna learn from that. You know what, Trent? And you know what, Doug? I don't mean to cut you off, but you
Yep.
know what, Trent? Everything that you're saying right now, you're so fucking right. And I'm sorry to curse, but you are 100% right. And what I'm going to say right now, I think Jimmy Butler needs to look at the mirror and say, you need to stop playing for money and play for that chip. I think this is, and I really think so, bro. I really think Jimmy's like, you got this Netflix show coming out. I think we're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And you know what? If I'm wrong, awesome. Because get him off and let's rebuild this whole thing. But contract year, everything's not guaranteed. Everybody's laughing at you. Everybody's saying that you're washed. Tyler Hero, people saying that you're injury prone. I think we're going to see a different Heat team. But the great thing is, if we don't, if it's mediocre, play in, first, second round exit, bye Jimmy, bye Tyler, bam, you're our guy. Let's go. Let's build another team and let's get you that. Let's make up what we didn't do for Jimmy. Let's actually get that star next to Bam. Because I'll tell y'all right now, I think stars look at this team and some of these stars think, I don't want to play with Jimmy. I don't want to deal with that.
No,
And I really believe that a lot of these stars think the same thing. If it was just Bam, I'll go there in a heartbeat.
Great point. Great point. Listen, I don't want to drag this episode too long, but great point. You know why? Because Jimmy has a name for himself in this league with teammates. You think these NBA players, coaches don't talk to each other and stuff like that? Those different Minnesota Timberwolves, you got the 76ers, right? Like, bro, a lot of these people talk. They talk 100%. So I think that's a good point. Listen, I love my Miami Heat. Y'all going to say this or not. I just think Boston Celtics a little bit better than us, and that's fine. Hopefully we do beat them. But we'll see what happens with this Miami Heat team.
That'd be dope.
All right. Anything else, Martel, before you close out?
Make sure that you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. We're all trying to get to the next sub up. The season is approaching. Media day is approaching. Hit the subscribe button, and thank you for all the support.
Thank you, guys. A lot of fun. Guys, support the channels. We doing big things. A lot of big things coming. Season's fast approaching, so we're going to have a good time. Yeah, buddy.